Well, losing your job can be devastating, but it can also grant you the chance of a lifetime. Marcy Morrison is the author of a book called Finding Your Passion. Her book inspires people to pursue their career dreams, and she's here this morning with Gail Hill, who has an amazing success story to share with us. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So Gail is one of your success stories.
That's right. She actually heard me speak at a Jobbing.com Career Expo a year ago, and a lot of times I don't get to hear the stories of people that I've impacted. And last year I received this amazing email that she had actually walked through the steps that I mentioned in my book and my speaking engagements and ended up finding her dream job.
So tell us, so you lost your job, Gail?
Yes, I did.
And what were you doing at the time?
I was in operations, and it was really tough to move from a job that I've been doing for so many years to finding myself looking for a job that, any job, because this was in October of last year.
Right.
So going through the holidays and then realizing that when I went to the job fair, looking to see that, you know what, this time around, let me do something different. Let me look at these steps and see how I can get this applied to my life. And when I found myself looking at the 5 steps, networking, building a support group, which by far was the best thing I ever could have done, it definitely got me to the point where the job that I have today, which has been awesome.
Okay, so you were in operations, and what is the job that you have today?
Now I'm in marketing. I get to work from home. I have a lot of flexibility. I get to travel between San Diego and Los Angeles, so it has just by far been perfect for my lifestyle and just for moving on to things that I want to do.
Well, that's wonderful. Obviously, you're a very bright woman, but you got lucky, too, in this terrible job market to not only have changed careers, but to doing something better, it sounds like.
Yes, but you know what, Senator, it wasn't easy. I actually applied to over 110 jobs before the job actually came about.
110 jobs?
110 jobs and 3 interviews. And I really was devastated and hurt when I had my second interview for one job, and they turned me down. And this was about February this year. So I was really starting to get disheartened and just desperate because, you know, I just couldn't see things turning around. But I kept at it. I kept, you know, relying on my network, my pastor, my church, my friends, and they just kept saying, you know what, Gail, you have so much to bring to the table. And don't let, you know, what has happened in your past define your future. And I think holding on to that made a big difference.
And Marcy, she says she relied on many of the tips that were in your book. It must be very gratifying to see a success story like Gail's.
Definitely. And I have to say it was just amazing that she really walked through all of that. I mean, like she said, she really trusted her gut, believed in herself. She really learned how to market and sell herself. And she really relied on that support team, which I think that a lot of people leave that out of the equation, and that's so important for your success.
And the support team for you, Gail, was who?
My support team was big part was my church, and a lot of friends that were retired and were just kind of in that transition of, you know, they had their careers already were already set, but they were looking to see, you know, what else they could do. So when they see the path that I had taken and just kept at it and kept knocking on doors and trying different things and changing up my resume. I mean, I tried a little bit of everything. And I said, you know what, at some point somebody's going to say yes. And when I got that final phone call, I just remember screaming because it was like, it's about time.
It's so wonderful. So for people watching out there, I mean, you got almost 100 rejections. What was it like? I mean, what got you through besides the support system?
Believing in myself. Believing in the fact that, you know what, something's going to turn around. You know, I hear a lot of stories of people saying, you know, the recession's not going to end, we're in a depression, but we've been in this particular position before, and things have turned around. And just knowing that, you know, I have had friends tell me, Gail, you're going to find another job. It's like, but it doesn't feel like it. 110 jobs, and I'm going to find a job. It just didn't seem like it. But it's like, you know what, that tenacious spirit, that made all the difference in the world.
Well, definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Gail Hill, very nice meeting you. Congratulations on your new job.
Thank you.
The name of the book, once again, is Finding Your Passion Through the Storm. It's by Marcy Morrison, and you can get all the information on KUSI.com. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. See you next week, Marcy.
That's right.
Okay. All right, back to Dan talking about an undercover